Hello. Today I'm getting to speak with Amy Ellisor. She's Executive Director of Camp Discovery. And Camp Discovery has been a grantee of YLACES several years ago, specifically for their camp activities. So first, I'd like to start off with Amy. Good to see you. And would you tell us a little about Camp Discovery and what it does?
It's great to see you, Dr. Butler. Camp Discovery was founded in 1985 by Donna Johnson, a recreation therapist, and her goal was to bring people of different ages and backgrounds together in a beautiful place surrounded by 116 acres of nature. And we've extended our reach. As I came in as executive director 3 years ago, we've really built up serving school students, pre-K up through middle school, and then we have some high school groups involved in doing projects at Camp Discovery. We also have our local South Carolina Wildlife Federation coming out to do training. We are an official South Carolina Adopt a Stream site, so we have folks out monitoring our stream health. We host lots of workshops. We work with Project Learning Tree, and we have when the coronavirus is not around, we have just a great summer camp. It's called Earth Keeper Summer Camp, and we have children from ages 4 up through 12 for day camp.
That's terrific. Now, could you say a little about how you put YLACES grant to use, how you've used the equipment, and I guess some of the things that enabled you to go on and do?
Absolutely. I met Tina Hart when I came up to NASA Langley 3 years ago as part of an MEI Institute for students who are becoming teachers and interested in STEM and citizen science. And I did not know that a few weeks later, I would become executive director at Camp Discovery. So I had been trained in Globe in the 1990s as a teacher. So I got to enjoy being retrained alongside of my students. And actually one of those students ended up being a camp counselor with me that summer. So we got some basic equipment. We had already pretty much set our camp plans for the summer. So we incorporated that into our Earth Focus Week, and we got some basic equipment. Children, the very favorite thing that you brought to them were the infrared thermometers, and the minute they had one in their hands, they felt like they were a real NASA scientist. So we studied clouds, and we had a team of students to go out and do measurements of surface temperature, grass and gravel, and sun and shade 3 different times a day. We rotated the teams. The following summer, we got a little more fancy, and we trained our interns in all of the Globe protocols, and we recorded that data and sent it up to NASA. So we really actually had a designated NASA Comes to Camp week. We had a student secretary, recorder, and reporter every day. And you can see that this was our STEM 2.0, our second week featured. And so they just took notes and pictures and highlighted the things that we did throughout the week. And now working with Globe at camp for 3 years, just looking back in that book, we've just done so many things. We've done investigations in the stream with the students, and we've also created a new program at Camp Discovery called Wacky Weather. We had 4th grade teachers saying, hey, we need to teach weather, and we really want to be outside, and we really want them to be hands-on. So we had them actually go through a simulation of the water cycle, build a cloud in a bottle, and study ozone while they were here at Camp Discovery. So that's just been a real popular program for teachers. We've also created some backpacks through some grants to have some literature and some of the materials like the infrared thermometer and binoculars to keep students, involved when they go back to the classroom. This summer, with having to make the hard decision not to host summer camp, we were able to go in with some families to family shelters and do a program based on trees. We called it Friends of the Forest. So they were able to zoom in on parts of the tree, and they were able to measure the trees and send that data up. And then we had a great meal as a family together. Families emerged from their stoop down to the tables and participated with us. And we were also able to have some private family picnics, socially distanced and spread out at Camp Discovery, to have the healthcare families come out and have a safe place to have a picnic, and to show them also some nature-based activities that they can do at home. We actually have people building soil models out of fruit. So it's been great. We are in the process of creating our field studies in a digital format, and we feel like we're reaching so many people. Transportation is not an issue. They just, pull up from their couch. And we've created a team for the tree challenge. We have a group code out there for Camp Discovery. So we're really getting a lot of measurements and just really getting people involved, and, being outdoors being a bonus at this point, and us being able to stay involved.
Well, that's really great. It sounds like you've done some pretty creative things dealing with what you can do, and particularly having more of a rural and spacious area, how you can deal with the restrictions and compliance with the health concerns with the COVID epidemic. Could you say a little more about, not just now, but even before with Camp Discovery, how y'all work to make a difference in your community?
Yes, this summer we did space out and sanitize picnic areas throughout camp, and families were able to come in and have a hike through our pollinator garden, or go all the way to the creek and put on the waders and net up some macros. So we have been able to do that. We actually were featured by a television station for the way we were following the check-in health protocols, and just having shifts of people that actually never crossed each other's paths, but they were able to get out as a family. And we feel like nature now is becoming people's go-to for having great time together. We've also become the pilot site for 10 camps across the United States. I got to travel with Tina Hart and NASA to San Francisco in February, and we recruited folks. So we've been sharing ideas as directors, and creating units that we can push out to folks who are at home or who are going to afternoon programs. And we really haven't had to skip a beat with the virtual option. We're making those interactive, and we have pause points for teachers and discussions. And in some cases, in a hybrid model, we are getting materials to school groups before we do a field trip with them. We were in the drive-through line at a middle school a couple of weeks ago, and they got a tree cookie and some cloud charts and other materials that we will use to work with them next week. So we feel like the technology has just allowed us to reach more people. And when folks come back on property, they will already have had an introduction to citizen science. We feel like everybody thinks it's pretty complex, and it's basically very easy to do anywhere you are if you make great observations and share it with someone.
That's terrific. You mentioned early on that the founder of Camp Discovery was trying to bring in a diversity of people. Has that worked out with your community?
It has. We have been working with Homeless No More. We've also been working with Power and Changing, which is a diaper bank. We work with almost all Title I schools, students that are receiving free and reduced lunch. We've actually had a great partnership with the school district where Camp Discovery is, and are able to use some military family grant funding to serve those families now, as there's all kinds of changes and they're needing support. So we've definitely had a far reach and feel great about that. We've worked with mentoring groups in the district. We held a summer institute for them last summer, and did some team building and STEM and science all together. And some of the children were able to come back to summer camp through some of the scholarship funding we have.
That's fantastic. Camp Discovery is a wonderful illustration of at least my idea that camps and nature centers can play a major role in working with Globe and doing citizen science and spreading it out into the science curriculum of the schools and affording opportunities where the students can do a wide range of the Globe protocols, get involved with the stream, as you said, do all the weather stuff, as well as taking a look at all the various living thing protocols in Globe, such as the trees and the tree height, and also get into the soil, which is just wonderful because a lot of times those things seem somewhat restricted, and having the outdoors at your beck and call really opens that door even wider than it can usually be opened at a regular school setting. So it's great to talk to you. I am so thrilled that we made a grant to you. I'm also thrilled by the wonderful relationship you've developed with NASA Langley and how they've helped. And I look forward to great things in the future from you and from the camps you're working with. All the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Butler. It's an honor to work with you, and we have some photos coming your way, and we'll just appreciate everything you've done for Camp Discovery and the families and children we serve.
Well, we're glad to. Makes it worthwhile being here. Thank you so much.